Aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean, a guided missile submarine. The U.S. has deployed military assets that it says are intended to deter the widening of the war in Gaza and protect its interests across the region. It has used force. In one of the latest incidents, the U.S. Central Command said a warship patrolling the Red Sea intercepted multiple attack drones launched from Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen. The Houthis have declared themselves part of the so-called Axis of Resistance of Iranian allies, retaliating against Israel's war on Gaza.
Resistance leaders in the region say that until the full rights of the State of Palestine are realized, and until an outcome is reached in confronting the occupation in the region, they will keep their fingers on the trigger.
Iran's foreign minister was speaking in Beirut, where he issued yet another warning, this time threatening the expansion of the war if the ceasefire agreed by Israel and Hamas doesn't continue. Hezbollah, a main player in the Axis, is already engaged in intense exchanges of fire with the Israeli army along the Lebanon border. In Iraq, armed groups have escalated attacks on U.S. troops stationed there and in neighboring Syria. But some believe Iran is trying to avoid direct confrontation with Israel and the U.S.
Iran wants an immediate ceasefire in order to prevent an expansion of the conflict potentially to southern Lebanon, northern Israel, and of course Israel's border with Syria, where Hezbollah is likely to be active.
And that could explain the step-by-step escalation along regional front lines. The so-called Axis of Resistance appears to be basing its strategy on the time factor, relying on Hamas's resilience in the face of Israeli attacks and global efforts to end the war. Iran's foreign minister highlighted more than 6 weeks of what he called heroic Palestinian resistance. But many warn Israel is not showing restraint.
We should expect a wider escalation in the region, not only because of the unity of the fronts and the fact that they have to defend their ally Hamas in this attack, but because I think they believe in the next phase that once Israel is done in Gaza, it will turn its cannons and attack Iran's network, and specifically Hezbollah in South Lebanon.
Guns may fall silent for a few days, but without political and security arrangements, the rules of engagement could change at any moment. Zeina, Khodr, Al Jazeera, Naqoura, Southern Lebanon.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.